Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. I feel like I have been all over this mic today, man. I had a couple Bleacher Report shorts today, and we're back at it again with the fam. BF in the building, back after a wild card win. It feels good. I'm gonna tell you right now, it feels good. But there's something a little different about what took place this wild card weekend. Do me a favor, smash that like as you guys enter the room. Welcome to another edition of the Rico Report. And listen, folks, did this game feel different to you guys? Not how you felt in terms of nervousness, because the Bills just always do that to us. They just do. Even though it just feels like the game is in hand, there's always some kind of internal old Bills fan waiting for some kind of collapse. I don't know if it's just a fan or it's just being a Bills fan in particular. I don't know if Patriots fans felt like that. The last 20 years, they probably just felt, yeah, we got this in the bag. But also, when the ball's in Josh Allen's hands and we need a play, I know he will connect and he'll deliver. So it's just maybe it's just a fan thing. But I'll tell you what's different about this wild card this year in the playoffs. I feel like this team is seasoned enough that they know what's at hand. There's no shakiness from them. It feels like they know. We've been to the divisional round before. We've been to the AFC Championship before, right? Where we weren't quite ready. Maybe the nerves were a little higher. We've suffered some losses along the way. It feels as though now they're like, okay, this moment is not too big for us. We're ready to go after it. Does that feel like that to you? Maybe you guys felt like that last year or the year before that. But right now, I feel just like this team is just right. They just mentally, they're mature enough to know, okay, shit ain't done yet. We're not overhyped. Because a lot of times we're like, oh shit, we're going up against the big bad Kansas City Chiefs. No. Now we're like, no. We're just as big as bad as the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I think the hoopla, it feels like the hoopla is not as high as it once was. Like just a couple years ago, we're going against Kansas City and we're toe to toe, obviously until the big old mishap happened. But even then, we felt like we were the underdog and we weren't ready to be there. It feels like, I guess we want to call it peaking. Are we peaking? Is that what it feels like? That's what I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, all I'm trying to get to is that I feel confident. I feel very confident in the way that we're approaching this upcoming game against the Kansas City Chiefs after we took down the Pittsburgh Steelers, because a lot of times where momentum is a bitch, momentum can swing rather quickly. And I think the Bills found ways to temper a potential comeback from the Pittsburgh Steelers, because that could be deflating. A team that's, all right, we put 7 on the board. All right, we got some momentum coming our way. All right, we're moving the ball. Interception. Ooh, that's a killer. That takes the wind out of your sail. Then they get going again. Then a big defensive stop. So and then you get a big 52-yard run from Josh. So those little things like that where you think you got it, and then Josh comes back and does something. You think you got it, and then here comes Khalil Shakir. It's just one of those things where it just feels that the Bills are on their way, but yet they understand what's at stake. And that's what I love about this team, man. So although they get us nervous all the time, they get me nervous no matter what. I don't care what anybody tells me. I do get nervous, but that's just the fan in me. That's just the fan in me, because I just want success for our team, right? Got a super chat from my man Rich. What's up, Rich? We got Hockey Lee reffing the Bills-Chiefs game, same as the Eagles game. Strap in, unfortunately. Go Bills. Well, we're going to find out. I got my guys' ref stats on Twitter, so I'm going to hit him up and be like, yo, Ed Ockley's our coach. What do I need to know? He's going to give me the goods. He will absolutely give me the goods. So how are we feeling after this wild card weekend? This wild card weekend was quite a weekend. It was slated with some wonderful games. We had some upsets. We had some teams that were supposed to advance to the next round and had just collapsed. I mean, let's go through it, because I got my man, the Thought Doc, that's going to be joining me shortly. And we're going to get this thing cracking here. But let's recap the week that was in this wonderful, wonderful game that we call football in the NFL, right? And it starts off. I mean, where do we want to start off with? Let's go to Houston. Starts off with the Browns and Texans. How about C.J. Stroud and that young offense? First time head coach, guys. This is the first time a team. Excuse me, not the first time. Fourth time in NFL history, a team has come on and jumped on and had a quarterback and a rookie coach, a rookie quarterback go in and make the postseason and go to the next round. That is impressive. Absolutely impressive. So we're hoping to get this thing cracking here and see how this turns out with the Ravens hosting the freaking Texans. Can the Texans pull it off? Yo, CJ Stroud has been looking pretty damn good, man. So if these boys can pull it off, then we'll see. We'll see how this thing gets pulled off here. But CJ Stroud, Texans 45, Browns 14. Joe Flacco turned into old man Joe Flacco that was supposed to be on the couch. I mean, listen, man, he did it. He did his very best to try to keep these guys going. He went on a 4-1 run, and then CJ Stroud said, "All right, that's enough, old man. I'll take over from here." And that they did. Texas routed the Browns 45-14. Then we got the Chiefs over the Dolphins. Uneventful. These guys, I mean, what more can you say, man? The Dolphins just they peaked at the wrong time, and they got horrible injuries at the wrong time as well. So here you are standing in line thinking that you're going to get good tickets to a good game. Nah, bro, that was Chiefs. That was like pretty much Chiefs versus Steelers. Like what, just last year? Just a waste. Just a waste. And that's what it felt like. Tyreek Hill was the only one that was ready to get out there and ball out. The rest of the players, they didn't show up. And then obviously the Packers absolutely undressed the freaking Cowboys. Cowboys get sent packing. 12th straight year. They got it. I don't know what changes they got to come that way. We're about to find out because I'm going to call my brother sometime tonight, and hopefully he picks up the phone because I didn't warn him that I'm going to call him. So we're going to find out how he's feeling. He has ducked me. He hasn't called me. Normally after weekends of football, we usually talk and we go through the games. Not a peep. Crickets. Didn't even send me a text. Not a word. So we'll find out how he's gonna do. So we'll see. We'll see. And then last but not least, the Lions over the Rams. That's actually pretty cool storyline there. And then the Bucks upset the Eagles. And I called that. Actually, the Eagles they weren't there, man. They weren't in it. They weren't in it. They haven't been in it. Something's up with them. I don't know what's happened. They just weren't in it. And it showed. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks take them down. They blitzed the hell out of those boys, and they had no answers. Done. Get packing. All right. Now that that's out the way, let's kind of go over recap our Steelers game because it was a tough game. Don't get me wrong. It was a tough game. BP, fear is Elam starts and Mahomes targets him all day. Well, Rasul Douglas pretty much could have played. He even said it himself, I could have played. They told me to just shut it down. Don't worry about it. We got you. He'll most likely be playing next game. Now, is it going to be Dane Jackson next to him? Or is it Kaiir Elam? We'll find out. Christian Benford, who knows what's going on with Christian Benford, whether he stays in. We'll soon find out. We'll soon see. But we'll see. I sent the link to my man, Thadoc. He hasn't answered me yet, so I don't know if he's occupied with his little man, but we'll see. We'll soon see. But we got my man Carl Jones that'll be joining us shortly. But we can talk about a little bit of these injuries because, boy, did we get beat up. We got beat up, and we got beat up at the wrong times and the wrong positions. Wrong time and the wrong positions. And that's it was kind of brutal for us to kind of go through. But which injury stands out most to you? I'm just looking at my list of injuries here. Let me just pull my list up here. But which injury concerns you the most? Is it Terrell Bernard with a high ankle sprain? I think we got lucky there. Extremely lucky. We got out of that one without a fracture, without an Achilles, without one of those type of injuries, because the way that ankle hit, and I'll go through it with just a little bit, where that ankle hit, it looked like it could have been way worse. But it turns out it's a high ankle sprain. Now, if anybody's ever suffered a high ankle sprain, those things are annoying. If you play basketball and you come in and you roll your ankle on that, it's a beat. It's a bitch. It's tough to recover from those type of ankle injuries. And now you got a week, not even. You got less than 7 days to get right, to rehab it, to ice it up, get the swelling down. Will we be able to get back into it? Will he be able to be strong enough to cut on it? I don't know how many injections they're gonna have to give this guy, whatever, in order to get him to get back. That'll be his own. And then you got Taron Johnson, concussed. I worry about that guy, man, because he plays. He's like no more than 200 pounds, not even. He's probably like a buck 90, buck 95. But if you think about it, this guy plays like he's a linebacker. And he throws his weight around, but you're susceptible to concussions. And now he's in the concussion protocol. How do we get him right? That's going to be the challenge. How do we get him right? Because I talked to you guys about the dogs on this team. There are not many dogs on this team where you can count on this guy to get physical and make a play. I think there's probably 2 on defense. That's Taron Johnson and Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer got that dog in him. But that's it. You remove those 2 guys. They ain't no guy that's going to, like, you know what I mean? That's the guy that's going to put on his back and be that nasty dude. You know what I'm saying? Matt Milano's not there no more to kind of spark something. So hopefully this is I don't know if there's such thing as a light concussion. Maybe it's just one of they take precaution and we'll see. But this ain't his first one. So I'm hoping that he turns things around, because Taron Johnson is going to be a key part of this game. Because right now, this Kansas City Chiefs team coming our way, they're starting to find their way. And if you go back and look at what they were able to do up against the Miami Dolphins, 70% of that offense ran through 2 players, Travis Kelce and rookie Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is the real deal. That boy nice, man. They drafted, apparently Pat Mahomes is the one that was like, get that guy right there, Rashee Rice. That's the guy I want. And they seem to be now building a nice chemistry with one another. So we just need to match up. And here's the beautiful thing about this matchup that we're about to face with these Kansas City Chiefs. We match up well against Kansas City. Right? There's certain games that you're like, ooh, I don't know if we match well with these guys. Kansas City, we built this team to go up against Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. How do we know that? Because we built it into the freaking trenches. Listen, the trenches is what is going to, listen, just go back. What happens? What's happened when we face these guys? Tip ball, right? Get that ball down. Was it AJ Epinesa? I picked him. And then the year before that, rookie season of Greg Rousseau, he picks, right? It's all about the trenches, man, and getting the hands up in Mahomes' lanes. So he's not able to do what he's capable of doing. We know the drill. Sidearm. He prances around and he's looking for time. Like, he is what they call him, the magician. He's always making time and making space, no different than Josh Allen. Never count out Josh Allen. Never count out Pat Mahomes. So with Pat Mahomes, it's all about discipline. Discipline is what it comes down to. Stay in your lanes. Stay in your contain. Don't let him bubble out and do what he's got to do, because he's that talented. He's that talented. And Travis Kelce, everybody's been, Travis Kelce's falling off. Bro, he has not fallen off. He has not fallen off. He's still that dude. And he proved it just this last game. So this Bills team, built for the trenches, we got to get after him. And I know most people will say, yo, I am absolutely done with Von Miller. I'm not done with Von Miller, bro. I told you guys last week, I'm not done with Von Miller, man. I still feel that there's not one, like the next man up behind Von Miller is not better than Von Miller. Let's keep it a buck. And you can talk about fresh legs. We could talk about those things, but this is playoff time now. This is where you need your veterans to come out. This is where you need your seasoned guys to come out and do the job. So that's what we're going to be looking for into this game. So we'll see. First things first, we got to get healthy. Health is the wealth. That's where we need to to really show up. And when we talk about being banged up, Taylor Rapp was on the injury report. We got to find out what's going on with Taylor Rapp. Gabe Davis, it's looking like we probably could get him this coming week, but I mean, coach right now is saying everybody's day to day, so that's pretty much telling you we don't know yet. But the good thing about it is we didn't hear he's out indefinitely, right? Or this player's out indefinitely. Everything right now on the table is day to day. So if it's day to day, that's you got a 50-50 chance of playing. We got a 50-50 chance of playing. So Taylor Rapp, we got to figure out what's going on with Taylor Rapp. We got to figure out what's going on with Rasul Douglas. I think Rasul Douglas plays. I think he plays. I think he was ready to play last week. But I think the team was like, yo, we got this. Don't worry. Dane Jackson's there. Kaiir Elam. We got depth. And if we should be able to take care of these Pittsburgh Steelers. And if we don't, shame on us. But we should be able to take care of these Pittsburgh Steelers. We need you for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chill out. We got this. And that's exactly what they did. Took care of business. Gave them a week to get better. And we on it. So we'll find out what's going on with Gabe Davis. Rasul Douglas, we should be all right. Tyrel Dodson is also day to day. We'll see what's going on with Tyrel Dodson. Then we've got obviously Terrell Bernard that we're waiting for. We're waiting to see word. I don't know, man. This one's a tough one. Anytime you get a high ankle sprain, to come back in less than 7 days and come out and play at a high level and be at your best, that's tough. That's very tough, man. Baylon Spector nursing that back injury. Hopefully they get him right, get our depth back in order. Sam Martin, our punter, goes down with a hammy. This brother looked like he got shot, man. He rolling, and it looked like somebody just had somebody was just sitting there sniping, just camping somewhere, and it said, nah, that's not your business. Your business is just punting. What you trying to make a athletic move for? And my man's hammy got pulled. So hopefully they just massage that thing out and he'll be good to go. I can't see him missing action and missing time. It's just about keeping that leg warm, keeping it stretched out, and we'll be good to go. And hopefully he doesn't become in a position where he has to run anymore. Just punt the ball and just hopefully, you're punting inside the 20 right towards the sideline, and we got to worry about it. We won't have to worry about it. Christian Benford, we're going to look to see what's going on with Christian Benford. I got some still shots and some footage to show y'all, see how we're cracking with that. And everything else is day to day. Everything else is day to day. So we'll see. So we'll see if my man Thad comes through and handles business, and we talk about the injuries. But how are we feeling? Moving on from this, how are we feeling about the Bills releasing playoff Lenny? I mean, listen, we knew a month ago. I mean, when did we bring him on? Like a month and a half ago? 2 months? We'll call it 2 months. We knew 2 months ago that like him getting on the squad was gonna be tough sledding, because at the time, which was odd that we brought him on, because we were like, okay, I guess it's cool that we bring him on, because all the rumors were talking about him coming to the Bills, and we're not sure, he's not going to happen. So when we were asking about it, we're like, okay, so like, is he coming? Is he not? Okay, finally they bring him on. Okay, what was the point? Because we had Ty Johnson, we had at the time Latavius Murray was playing very well. He was our third down back, and he was our goal line back. Then we had obviously James Cook was coming along, so it kind of was like, okay, we brought playoff Lenny. All right, cool. If he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And then all of a sudden, Ty Johnson was like, bro, you ain't touching this. Ty Johnson wanted nothing to do with this guy jumping in there and getting any time. And it's looking like it, because we can count on Ty Johnson. I've been telling y'all about Ty Johnson for a few weeks now, almost a month. Let this guy get warmed up. He's the right complementary back to James Cook alongside Latavius Murray. So cheers to playoff Lenny. Leonard Fournette has been released, and whether they feel that it's just not necessary, whether they're making room for somebody else on the practice squad, I listen, I'm not speculating here, but you just never know. Cold City Entertainment says, playoff Lenny is better. What's going on, Damian? Damian Harris is on injured reserve, brother. Damian Harris is on injured reserve. Playoff Lenny is better than Murray. Murray is trash. Come on now. Murray is 34 years of age. Keep that in mind. Murray is 34 years of age. So keep that in mind. All right. That's number one. Number two, Murray has been playing pretty well this year. You can't tell me Murray has not been playing well. Let's cut it out. He's been playing extremely well. So, and Leonard Fournette just wasn't it wasn't time for him to come through. That's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. So that being said, playoff lane is gone. Playoff lane is gone. So in terms of injuries, I mean, I'm gonna just play the clip because I don't know what's going on with my guy, the thigh doc. Maybe he was on with Z-Bot today. I'm not sure. And maybe he's all exhausted. He's tired. He's a star. He ain't got the time. He ain't got the room, but it's all good. We're going to keep it rolling no matter what. So Christian Benford, all right, let me just play this clip here. So I'm only going off by what my man was telling me earlier this week. So if I'm going to play this little clip here, you guys will be able to see it here. So this is Christian Benford. So I guess right here is where that toe gets stuck in there and tweaks the knee. And that's what has caused him to leave the game. So if you see that, you're understanding. So let me play that for you guys again. I know it's quick, but there it is. It gets stuck into the turf a little bit and just can't. You're stuck, man. Once that turf monster gets you, it's either minor, you can kind of get your knee out, or your knee is dug in there, and that's it. There's nowhere else for it to go. And that's the unfortunate part. So Christian Benford has been playing lights out. Christian Benford is the one that put the hit on Pat Freiermuth. I believe it's Freiermuth that popped that ball out with the controversy, which should have been our football. Popped that thing out. Ball was inbound. Spectre jumps on there. It was the AJ Klein and Spectre. One of those boys jumped on that inbounds, but they weren't about it. They weren't even close to singing about it. So I could tell you all about it. I'm not the injury expert. The injury expert is my guy, the thigh doc. So he's on the line with me right now. So you guys already know what time it is. I got to give that intro in, and then we'll get that thing popping, and we'll bring in my guy, the thigh doc, because we have questions. He's got the answers. We're gonna bring him on in just a moment. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Alex, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Rico? How we doing?
I'm doing all right, brother. Did you get on the show with Z-Bot today?
No, I didn't. He wanted to do it while I was working.
You were working. You were making listen. You were saving lives, and making people get better and get back onto the road.
Saving thighs,
baby. He was saving thighs. Well, folks, my man Thadoc is in the building. People have been anticipating your work. You've been busy on social media, brother. You've been busy.
It's tough to keep up. I'm trying to watch the game. You know, I got a 7-year-old, and you know, I'm trying to tweet when I'm at home watching the game, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot yesterday.
It is a lot, but you're the guy that I trust. You're the guy that we trust to get this thing popping. By the way, Ark Oldman says longer intro, please. Come on, man. You guys are cutting it short. We want more thighs, is what they're saying.
Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll make an updated one this off season.
Well, you got to keep the music either similar or something something the same.
Like I said, that's my buddy. So he makes music. So he's got a couple tracks. I can probably throw something fresh on.
That's my guy. So where do we begin? Can we let me just pull up my list here. Let's start with Taylor Rapp.
Got it. Okay, Taylor Rapp pulled his calf. He pulled his calf on that interception. Calves can take 2 to 4 weeks. He will be 2 weeks for the KC game. It's definitely possible. The earlier you come back, the easier you can aggravate it. So it's a calculated risk. It's up to the team. I don't know. You know, they come in different shapes and sizes. It depends how bad he tore it. If it was bad, it's closer to a month. If it's just a little twinge, closer to 2 weeks. So it's cutting it super close, though. It's the playoffs. I'd play him.
Oh, you would? You would definitely play him?
I think so. Yeah, for this
Ah,
game, there's this game in particular, we got some issues. So when the team's down some guys, you got to kind of rush in some other people. So as long as he can run sprint, you're taking a calculated risk. He might re-aggravate, and then he's probably done.
you're right.
But it's 50-50 right now. We'll see how the injury report goes during the week if he's
No,
active.
you're right about that one because like you said, if you bring him back too soon, he re-aggravates it. Now you've lost longer.
Yeah.
One of those you're right. Calculated risk is, and do we trust enough from Taylor Rapp to come back? I don't know if you saw. I'm sure you saw it. There was a moment in the game where Micah Hyde kind of came up gimpy. He was limping a little bit.
Yeah, I think he just got a cleat to the shin now.
Okay, so it's just a little bruise, just a, scrape it off and let's keep it rolling. Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll take that. So we got two healthy guys, and I gotta say this, man, for all the worry that you had with Micah Hyde and how serious his injury was, him coming back, and it takes one stinger that it could be. He's been pretty. He's staying healthy. He's staying pretty active, and we're lucky to have him back.
That's damn right.
Oh my gosh.
I definitely think it's his last season, and that's why he's playing through this. But he did take 2 stingers already this year, and then
yes, he did.
He missed a game, and then he missed a couple games. So if he gets another one, that's it for the playoffs, I would assume. But I don't know. They might.
Let's keep the good time rolling. Now, Tyrel Dotson. So you notice that we've lost some linebackers. I mean, even Baylon Spector. We'll get into that a little bit, but I'm more interested with Tyrel Dotson. Does he come back? He gives us the physicality that we need to thump with these boys in the trenches. Yeah. What do we gain from him? Do we get something back, or is he still going to be nursing some time off?
No, I think he's back.
So what was it? A stinger? What was it?
No,
I think it was a shoulder injury with him, right?
They're calling it shoulder. So usually, based on a couple hits he had in the game, he was blasting. So the ones I saw, it was shoulder to shoulder. There was one where someone was tied up and he came in late and he kind of rolled over it and blasted his shoulder into the pile. But I would assume it's an AC joint. AC joints take about 9-10 days for a mild to medium. So for him to miss a game is not surprising, but usually guys don't miss 2 games. It's definitely a pain tolerance thing. And even if it was like a labral issue, that's like the rim around your socket, usually that comes with like a dislocation. I feel like we would have seen him grabbing his arm and like the trainer coming out and like shaking it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a labrum. I think he just like sprained it. He's getting 2 weeks off. If they got to shoot it, and he's playing this game. Again, if this is regular season, Rico, maybe 3 weeks, but now's not the time to let him have the luxury of resting a little more. So I would
now's not the time.
I'd expect Dotson back for sure.
Okay, I like this. This is so far you're giving us good news, because somebody was trying to blast you like all he does is give us bad news. Listen, man, don't shoot the messenger.
I tell the truth.
Well, the truth, man.
I gotta do a full disclaimer here. I had a knee-jerk reaction, and I do apologize. So
talk about it.
When I'm watching a game live, sometimes I don't tweet much. I'm preoccupied. I'm with the family, making wings or something in the kitchen. But, I was into the game, so I'm just laying there kind of, just focused. So when Bernard went down, it just looked like he was chasing the play, and he leaped for him, and then it looked like non-contact, and then he laid on his side and grabbed his ankle. And I'm like, oh shit, it's Achilles. And then I'm sure I got everyone all riled up, and I apologize for that. But then they came out and then they had him in an air cast. And I'm like, and then that's when they showed the real replay. I do this before it goes to commercial break. So,
Yeah, of course.
I'm living through my feelings, right? I shouldn't do it, but who cares? I'm not.
That's what live tweeting is.
No one's firing me. Okay. So everybody relax. So then I see the replay, and that's where his foot gets stuck and it rolled over. So he clearly sprained his ankle, but obviously you would assume that he had a fracture. That's why they put him in an air cast. So I'm like, oh, never mind. He obviously just fractured his ankle, but whatever.
And I went with that too. I went with your fracture. I was like, because it could have been. I mean, let me see if I can play that clip for it. And I think the audio can still be played perfect.
Yeah, it looks like it snaps right there, but that could just be the gapping of the joint because the ligament snapped, not the bone.
Mm-hmm.
So the team must have felt like it was pretty loose, and hey, cast it up. This guy probably cracked his fibula, his distal fibula. So these guys are pros, man. For them to put them in a cast, it's usually a big deal. But then there's rumors that and the X-rays are negative, so it's just a sprain. Um, Now that looks like a vicious sprain. There's two ligaments on the side of the ankle. The one you usually roll is called the ATFL, and then there's another one directly on the side. It's called the CF, calcaneofibular ligament. That looks like a calcaneofibular ligament sprain because the other one, your toe's got to be a little more pointed. That's too much like medical jargon. All you need to know, it's a lateral ankle sprain. That is not a high ankle sprain. So laterals usually come back quicker, but that's a vicious one. So
So it's not a high ankle sprain.
no, it's not. It is not.
See, this is why listen. I always tell people, man, that brother don't miss. You don't miss.
That's
Sometimes
lateral outside. Yes.
So
yeah.
so a high ankle sprain would have been worse than the lateral.
Yeah.
Or are they just as severe as one of the?
No. Guys come back quicker from lateral ankle sprains. That means a low. So let's call lateral a low ankle sprain. They're synonymous. And then a high ankle sprain, usually the ankle torques the other way. So think about like you plant and you twist the opposite direction. It doesn't fold over that way. It torques to the inside. Or you could say like the toes torque outside. However you want to like look at it. But anyways, guys come back quick from this, but that one looks like, at least 2 weeks. And the fact that they put them in an air cast means that something happened that was significant. So there's avulsions where the ligament kind of pulls off from where it's attached and a piece of bone rips off. Mm-hmm. So they can rule that out with the X-ray. But now there is one caveat with the MRI. There is a tendon that runs down the side of your shin and attaches to the bottom of your foot, and it kind of overlaps that area. It is called your peroneal tendon, so also known as the fibular tendon. So if that snapped, they would not see that on the X-ray. They would see it on the MRI. So when someone casts an ankle sprain like that on the field, you got to think something weird was up, especially if you had a pain up the shin. So I kind of slept on this. You know what I mean? Tossing and turning, Rico, this is actually a great case study. It's like, looks like Achilles. Then they come out, they show the replay. He's casted. Okay, it's a fracture. Oh, what? What do you mean the X-ray is negative? So what the hell is going on out there? So if they totally just missed and just went like super conservative with them, and it's just a sprain, I mean, maybe 2 weeks. Again, it's vicious looking. Could be 3, could be 4. Sometimes that's how they go. But it bodes really well. I mean, it went from like, I'm worried about this guy coming back starting next season to
for sure.
If we advance, he maybe be playing next week. So I don't see it this week though. 6-day turnaround. That would be like a miracle. So
okay, so
just
that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah, so just temper those expectations.
He may not play. A good chance.
It's a strong chance he will not play this week. I would actually assume he's not playing, but you never know. So we'll see.
Yeah. Obviously, and that's the thing, man. You just never know. Everybody, like you said, you always say this. Everyone heals differently. Everybody's body's different. So it all depends on how they deal with it. Now, let's just say he does return. How is he limited? Is it a matter of with that type of like? It's a matter of cutting? I assume
it's the lateral movements. Yes.
So back and for a linebacker, that's tough,
big
man.
Deal. No, 100%. And defense is always a little harder than offense because offense can dictate how they're gonna move, and the defense has to mirror it. So
that's right.
Usually with these like ankle sprains, stuff like that, even like the the ACLs, Trey White coming back, like he's got to mirror someone and cut off of what they're doing, as opposed to like someone showing me going at you, and I know how I want to cut on my knee. So say absolutely
less. Let's talk about Christian Benford.
Got it.
Christian Benford. I'm going to play the clip here. Hopefully you can help us out here.
Yep. So the toe right there. It's the end of the clip. So the toe box gets stuck in the turf and the knee does a little wiggle and wrenching motion. It's hard without a trained eye. Like it's really tough it's hard for people. Right there.
Right there.
Yes. That little wiggle where he starts to turn and his toe stuck. So he gets like a little like rotational crunch through his knee. Common with a meniscus. Now all meniscus is common. There's like a dozen of them. So I don't know. Usually he's going to need a week off. It's the playoffs. They could shoot it up. He could play on it. Definitely. He might twist on it again and aggravate it real quick. So he might be on a short leash. I don't know. I would assume he's probably not going to play either. But the couple things bode well for him. They didn't take him out of the uniform like they didn't with Douglas last week. So
Right. Right.
these are things. Listen, I'm not touching these guys. I'm not talking to them. I got to read through the tea leaves. So last week example, Gabe Davis, he gets a knee sprain. He gets his uniform taken off at halftime. He's in street clothes. Not good. Then you get, and again with the mechanism and just seeing how his knee buckled up on him, like the next series, that I take that all into an account. And then you get someone like Rasul Douglas where he gets his knee like poked inward and it looks like a knee sprain. But hey, he's on the sideline with his uniform on still. Like, is he like break glass? You could still throw him out there, possibly. So again, Benford. I always mix the names up too. Bernard and Benford. Benford, the cornerback, didn't take his uniform off. So I think that means he's gonna be close. But again, those meniscuses are tricky. They can hurt at the time, hard to put weight on. Then it swells up on you. Swelling's the killer. If it's swollen, it's no good. If the swelling can stay down, put a shot in it, and it feels pretty good, he's good. But it's sensitive, another rotational movement, it could get irritated. I would put him at 50-50 right now. And he very well could wake up the next day and the knee's locking up and he actually has to get his scope. So I don't know.
This is tough, and we're getting these little nicked up injuries at the freaking worst time.
100%. And a lot of them are like, you could probably really would help if you took another week off, but it's like you don't really have that benefit right now. So these are guys are walking wounded right now, and I think obviously T-Dot. We'll get into Rasul in a second. I think Rasul is going to come back a week earlier than he should, but I think he's going to be playing this week as well. Because he had what I believe is a mild MCL. That's the inside ligament of the knee. Tweaked it, usually 2 to 4 weeks. Mild ones closer to 2.
Right.
If you're in the regular season, you're giving this guy 2 games off, but you're just giving him 1 off in the playoff, which is a risk. Again, it's a little loose. So that doesn't just mean he could re-sprain the MCL. The knees can give more, which can lead to another ligament blowing, like an ACL. For instance, the RG3 thing. He had an LCL injury, came back too quick, his knee buckled, and then he tore his ACL. Yeah.
That was awful.
So, yeah.
Huh. Well,
wow. It's loaded.
Listen, lock and loaded.
Who else you got?
Douglas, obviously, I mean, we're gonna see that he'll probably be able to jump back in. I mean, I read something that he said that I was gonna come back last week.
Correct.
They told me to just chill out. So he should be able to get back to it. I mean, Lord knows we need him because Pat Mahomes is going to try to exploit whoever he can, and they're going to try to take full advantage of us. Let's talk about Sammy Martin, the punter. Pulls a hammy, a hard one. When a brother's running, he's running, and he gimps up and grabs that back leg. It's a wrap. You can't do much, but he was still able to stay in the game and punt.
He punted one time.
I can't see him not punting next week.
It's really risky because I think he messed that snap up at the end of the game because his hamstring hurt. So you got to lunge forward in that kneeling position, and it hurts, and then you lose a little focus, and then the ball was tipped to 10 o'clock on the hold. It wasn't north and south. It was tilted to the left. So a little pain here. It's a game of inches. Little pain. Ouch. Lost my focus. Muscles don't fire at the right time, and boom. Game over.
I was wondering about that because I'm like, okay, he's in a squat position, so I know his hams are screaming at him right now.
Correct.
So he's like, just get through it. I gotta hold this position for 30 seconds and let's go. But you're in, maybe like you said, your muscles kind of give out and make you jerk, maybe tilts that ball a little bit, and then obviously Tyler Bass shanks that thing. So yikes. What are your? I mean, listen, I'm just kind of. I mean, you talked about reading the tea leaves. I saw that the Bills got rid of playoff Lenny off the practice squad.
Yeah, I would assume that's for a punter. Now, it would be a good option because the guy's been really good for us. And the hamstrings, it's a punter, so it's not like it's your wide receiver.
Right.
2 weeks, he's going to be in really good shape to punt. This week, it's going to be super vulnerable. And again, it's not like he's going to go out there and look like he's limping next week. But if he's got to run to try to tackle someone, he's going to blow it again. 1 week's not enough. 2 weeks minimum. So I can see him putting a practice squad guy for punter, and let's go. You just got to call him up for one game. I think that's the play that's going to happen, but we'll see. They're also need some depth at linebacker, so I
Yes, they
don't know.
do. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on potential signing of Mr. Matarazza? Do you like that idea?
I think
They're floating around,
that would be life coming full circle, wouldn't it?
wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It'd be kind of a good story. Now, I don't want to get debating. I don't think it was a great situation he was in with the
Of course
thing.
not.
I got a good feeling that he wasn't in on the rough stuff, but I don't think he was a total angel that whole night. So,
Yeah, I get it. I get
yeah,
it. We're
okay,
both on
but
the same page.
we don't have to go there right now. But I
Yeah.
think I think it would be okay to sign him at this point because you
Listen,
got
I'm with it as well. Full
Yeah.
circle. And listen, doesn't everybody love a second chance?
sure do.
Don't we all like second chances? Right?
Yes.
Second chance at love. Second chance on that test that you failed potentially. I mean, everybody likes another opportunity. So if he's given an opportunity and they open that practice squad spot for him,
There would be
and
something.
maybe he comes back and it's a redemption story. You just never know these days. But playoff Lenny's gone. It opens up a practice squad position. We are lacking at the linebacker spot, so all depending on how things go. Coach talked about it being day to day, so we have a day to day on everybody. So I'm encouraged. But I'm not sure. Teron Johnson. Last but not least, Teron Johnson. The concussion.
Not good.
It wasn't. Nobody really talked about it too much. We just knew that he was out and Cam Lewis was in.
Yeah, it happened late. Yep.
Yeah. So are we? These concussions are different. They're weird, especially if you're one that has had multiple concussions in your career. This is not number one for him. I think this is probably number 2 or 3. What are the chances that they sit him out this game?
It's a great. Yeah, it's
Oh,
possible.
buddy.
Okay, so he's come back. He's come back from all his concussions in less than a week. He passes through the protocol.
He has.
The only problem is it's the second one this year, and these don't look like little ding. I mean, I'm gonna after this call. I gotta put my kid to bed. But
Sure.
I got the clip already lined up. He took a blindside block. Now I think he took 2. I went back to look at the film. I thought Ingold was the one who crushed him, and I'm pretty sure he was. And then I'm rewatching the film, and it's Crawcraft who blindsided him, just to hit him right in the side of the temple, just same side as he had got hit on the Pittsburgh game, and he flopped, and they never took him out. And I was like, damn, he got blasted. I remember telling my wife, I'm like, but I'm pretty sure I was like, Ingold blasted him. So I think he took 2 blindside shots last week to the temple. Then he goes and gets the dinger into the side of the temple against Pittsburgh, and he flopped. And he didn't just it didn't look pretty. I got the clip. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh my God.
Is it on your Twitter?
No, I'm gonna do it. I got to do it later because I just ran out of time today. But he gets hit and he's stumbling. It looks like a scene out of a zombie movie where the zombie gets shot, the arms dangling. He's tilting to the side and he's stumbling and then face plants. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. But then he gets up and he runs to the locker room. So he must be able to bounce back quick. But he's getting his shell shocked pretty good. He flopped down pretty bad when he took the concussion on that when Rapp kind of hurt his neck against the Jets. Remember Rapp and him kind of hit heads late in the game.
100%.
Rapp walked it off and then collapsed. Teron flopped awkwardly backwards. It was kind of scary looking. So
it's a bang bang game, man. It's a bang bang. I mean, just even watching Joey Porter Jr. got hit on the back of the neck. It didn't look like he was vicious, but enough of that you could jolt your neck and the brain shakes. You're done.
For sure. I don't think that one was dirty. A lot of people are blasting McGovern for that. It did look like he was fighting for some yards, and he came up from behind to kind of pop him off him, and guys shifted.
It was unnecessary, in my opinion. I thought it was unnecessary. It's and when I saw it, I was like, "What are you doing? What was the point of that?" But
pushing forward, wasn't it right near the first down marker?
Around that time, it was around that. So either way, I mean, that's the name of the game. It's football. Before you do, because I know you want to go put your little man down. So, what would you say you were the most concerned about? And out of all our injuries and the players that are in these injuries positions, what concerns you the most?
Who's gonna hurt us if they have to sit?
That's right.
It's Teron and it's Bernard.
Yeah.
But Benford's been playing great. I mean, it really sucks.
It
All
hurts.
three of them, they're not household names, quote unquote, but they're playing phenomenal football. And some of their advanced analytics are off the charts, especially Benford, the corner.
That's right.
That's a tough one to swallow. But Rasul comes back. I mean, I could stomach that, but no one really can replace Bernard. You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough one, man. We
But
lost, and that's the crazy thing because we lost Matt Milano thinking, oh, we're doomed.
Yeah.
And then Bernard was a pleasant surprise.
Correct.
So we are encouraged for the following year. But
and then you got Kelsey coming. It's just a matchup. Someone's got to figure out how to match. They're gonna have to put Poyer on him. I don't know what else they're gonna do.
oh boy,
The linebackers aren't gonna be able to keep up with them.
In the words of the wonderful Carl Jones, next man up. But is that next man up ready?
Doesn't mean we're not winning. I think we're winning. I feel like a little ride of fate this year.
All right. And, if you feel good, if the doc feels good, then I feel
good. Unless the script's out, because call me crazy, but I think Taylor Swift started dating Kelsey when he signed that Pfizer deal. I don't know what's going on there.
All right, there you go. You're trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I love it.
I love it.
Well, listen, man. If Kelsey's gonna bring his firepower, then Josh is gonna have to bring his firepower.
Oh yeah, I like her more. Honestly, I hope Swift comes, and I hope people pelt that box with a bunch of snowballs.
Are you a Swiftie?
I was in 2014 with Shake It Off.
And then what happened?
Her music sucks since then.
Oh, there you go.
She sold out. She sold out for the little pop girls.
There you go.
She's like half Adele now. All right.
Listen, man, I appreciate you, and I know you got to put the little man down, so I appreciate you, man, and we'll definitely have to link up later on. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, the Thigh Doc, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side, man. See you later, man.
Bills, I'm seeing you next week. Don't you worry,
sir,
guys.
buddy. Yes, sir. That's my guy, the Thigh Doc. I'm so glad that he's given us some insight. By the way, smash that like for Alex, the Thigh Doc, because he's been such an integral part of the show, because these games happen, these injuries happen, and now we're waiting for reading articles and so on and so forth. And he's giving us, just from the eyeball and obviously his rash of experience, he's able to give us the goods, man. So listen, gem. He's a gem. And we hope that he keeps that music, and we don't want to change too much, because you know how people don't like change. So he comes up with a new theme music. You're like, no, go back to the old one. You know, that's how it goes. But without further ado, folks, we got another guest coming on, my man Carl Jones. But before we always get to Carl Jones, we got to talk about these wagers that you've been putting on. What you guys been doing? Are you guys making money? Are you guys making money when you guys are picking anybody on the Bills? Well, if you guys are all over the Underdog Pick'ems, you guys should be making a whole lot of cash. I know my man Pierre is. We'll be right back after this message. We're going to jump into my man Carl Jones, and we're going to talk some football. But let's talk about these Underdog Pick'ems, though. Let's talk about
Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. In the Pick'em game, you can pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in that week's game for a chance to win big. And as you already know, I'm going Josh Allen higher in yards every single week. So sign up today with promo code Buffalo Fanatics and get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with promo code Buffalo Fanatics to get your first deposit doubled up to $100.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with my man, the local legend himself. Carl Jones, what's happening, bro?
I ain't nobody, man. I'm all good, though. How about you?
I'm doing all right, man. Listen, I figured I got to try to get some intro music for you so I can get you, you know what I mean, prop you in. So the reason I asked that question, so then I'm like, hold on, if I would have put some intro music for him, what would it be? So if I were to ask you right now, if you popped into your phone and you went to your Apple Music, what's the last song you listened to?
The last song
you listened to, that'd probably be your intro music. Probably Cyndi Lauper.
Nah, I was just listening to some Drake. It was him and Jay-Z, Pound Cake. I was just listening
Pound
to
Cake.
that.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good track. That's a good track now. That's a good track now. Carl Jones in the building. What's happening, man? Listen, what a week that was in the playoffs. First of all, before we even get to the Bills, what game had your attention and had you kind of either excited to watch this game or kind of like, what the hell just happened? What stood out to you most this weekend?
Yeah, preferences for everyone at home. Obviously, I'm from Cleveland, so the Browns
You're hurt.
game I was hurting a little bit, but I say all that to say though, the game that had my attention the most was probably that Lions Rams game. Obviously, with the Goff and Stafford
Yep.
storyline, but then also my boy that my running mate back there at Syracuse, Fatu Melifonwu.
I wanted them to draft that brother so bad.
Yeah,
and he bungled that, man. Go on.
Yeah, so he doing his thing for the Lions now. So I was really stoked that he had the opportunity to be at something so historic with that franchise and that city for that matter. You know, not making it to that point in I think 92 or 93 back in the Barry Sanders days. So I was locked in. I'm literally texting. Obviously, he can't reply. He playing on the field, but I'm texting him play by play, like, hey, bro, fix your alignment, do all this, do that, like fix it, all that good type of stuff. So like for him to come through and be a part of that storyline was, outside of the Bills game, was the most fun I had for sure.
I say, listen, man, the NFL scriptwriters, bro, they got it right. They got it right, boy. They got Matthew Stafford going up at Jared Goff. You had C.J. Stroud going up against the Cleveland Browns, and it should have been Deshaun Watson. That would have been something else. Obviously, the only storyline that didn't work out the greatest was the Pittsburgh Steelers in Buffalo, but you can still tie it in that Coach Tomlin and Coach McDermott went to William and Mary, and there's so many of them that could have played out. Tyreek Hill going back to KC. Like, they couldn't have written this the best. The NFL absolutely won this weekend. But to me, I'm going to tell you, man, I was actually very interested in seeing what C.J. Stroud was going to do against Cleveland. If Cleveland was the real deal, if that defense was as real as they said they were, then they're just going to take care of Houston. Houston is legit. That team is absolutely legit, man. They're going to be a problem for the Ravens. I don't know if Ravens better. I'm just saying right now, man, don't sleep on these damn Houston Texans, man. They might come in and shock the world, but hey, we got bigger things to worry about than other guys finding out what's going on. Hold on. He said Rico asked how his head is feeling. Oh, boy. Anyway, let me keep it rolling. So this past game, man, watching this game against these Pittsburgh Steelers, these Pittsburgh Steelers just didn't want to die. They didn't want to die. As much as you want to say like the Bills were up 21-0, did it feel to you as though, all right, the Bills got this in hand and we ain't got to worry about it? Or was there a reason for you to kind of say, wait, this game is not over yet now. Let's hold on.
That's the type of ball that the Steelers play, though. They kind of play that, hey, we're going to muddy it up, dirty it up, drag you into the deep end and see how well you can swim type of game. Like that's who they've been for, as quite frankly, since towards the tail end of Big Ben's career, where they started to, the offense wasn't as great, so they really had to grind their way. And I don't want to say luck, but like they have a couple bouncers go their way to victories, right? And that's kind of how it felt in that Bills game. You clearly felt throughout that first quarter there was a severe talent deficiency between the two teams. Like this one team just clearly was more equipped to play playoff football. That was really noticeable on the Dalton Kincaid touchdown up the middle, where you see linebackers all the time carry that route, but unfortunately, Myles Jack at this point in his career just isn't capable of doing so.
No, sir.
So you kind of felt it. Like, did I think the game was in doubt? No, not really. I'm sure the bettors at home were probably more scared than anything else because the spread was 10.5 points, so they were probably scared at that point. But as the result itself, nah, I never really felt that. That's just the kind of ball that the Steelers play.
I guess so. I mean, maybe, and I was just talking about it earlier, because like sometimes, because I've been a fan for so long, and I know what these guys have gone through, where it looks promising and then they falter at the end. It's been like that for years. So part of that is still ingrained in me. Like, yo, are we gonna let this thing crumble away? And it felt that way. But listen, when you got Josh Allen, yo, you close the game out, and that's the way it is, man. And let's get right into Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen, he chose this game to come out and play. And he put it on display against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't no scrubs now, but they were missing a big piece in TJ Watt. So he was able to do the things that he was able to do: 4 touchdowns, 20 yards, all that great stuff. And I made the topic, the question, or my question in the topic in the title: does Josh Allen and the Bills have enough left in the tank? And I bring this up for a reason, right? Because sometimes there's a term called blow your load. Sometimes people blow their load way too soon. And then when it comes to round 2, when your girl say, yo, round 2, bruh, and you're like, no, I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be the case, and I don't feel it to be the case. But sometimes you have such a great performance, you got to follow up 3 more times. And I guess my question to you is, does he have it in him? Does Josh have it in him to give you 3 more strong rounds to freaking finish this whole thing off and win the damn Super Bowl?
17, I have no issues with. I think 17 is one of those ones. If however you feel about the best quarterback, best players in the game, that's a hilarious comment right there. Shout out Jeff King for that. But he's one of those ones. He's special, whatever superlative you want to attach to his name. I think he's highly capable of doing so. Do they have enough bodies on the other side of the ball to get it done? That's a better question. But 17, he's one of those ones, man. He's very special. He didn't look like he was wearing down. I'll tell you that. That boy looked like he was getting stronger as the game was going on. And very difficult elements. Thank God I wasn't there last week. I will unfortunately be there this week. Not unfortunate, but my body is going to be a little unfortunate to be there. But regardless, for him, yeah. So for him to ball like that and those elements say a lot. And I don't think this is a one pump chump from Josh. I think he'll be fine.
Listen, and I was just saying earlier that what I noticed from Josh is that there's a sense of calmness. There's a sense of like, I've been here before. I know these feelings. I know all these young guys on the squad. Some of you guys may not know, but I've been here, and I know the feeling sucks when we don't take care of business. So I feel there's a level of confidence going into this matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. But like you said, the other side of the ball is where we're like, all right, man, what's going on, man? These rash of injuries. I mean, you heard the Thigh Doc talk about all these guys that are banged up, and how can we get them back in? And I don't know, man. Teron Johnson with a concussion, you got less than a week to try to get back. That's in question. Terrell Bernard with not a high ankle sprain, but it was like pretty much a low ankle sprain, but a very severe one. So that's what we're looking at. Maybe he doesn't go in. Terrell Bernard might be out. Then you got Baylon Spector with a back injury. Then you got Rasul Douglas that is most likely going to play, but is he 100%? Bro, we are banged up. We are banged up. But the real question is, do the Kansas City Chiefs have enough where we can still manage it? Are they as potent as they used to? Are you like, you follow the league, you see what's going on? Rashee Rice, dog. Travis Kelce, dog. Pacheco, I mean, he's all right. I like Pacheco. He's a good back. I like his style of run play. It annoys me, but he gets the job done. He gets the job done. And then you got Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. Like, they're coming home to Buffalo. Are we confident? Does the team feel confident? Does it feel like am I getting my right feelings in there? Or how are you seeing things and feeling things out there?
Yeah, I think the team's extremely confident. And I think that, I don't want to say anxious is the right word, but I think they're ready for the situation, especially now that it's at home. I know Ed Oliver after the game talked about how we don't talk about Cleveland right now, man. We'll talk about them boys current draft season. Right now, put them boys on ice. But we talked about Ed Oliver, how he did a good job of saying, like, look, Arrowhead used to be like, I feel like it was my home stadium. We played there so often. So the fact that they were able to come back to the crib this year, the guys are excited about it from what I can tell from yesterday. Sean McDermott told us today that he was preparing for the Chiefs on Sunday. So, like, as soon as they had the results come in, they were like, all right, like, look, like, I don't want to spend too much time on the Chiefs, but I do want to get a little look ahead. So I think they're ready, they're prepared. And like I've always told you, and I'll say this to anybody else, those guys in the locker room don't make it to that level without being a little bit delusional. And I mean that in the most polite way possible. Like, you have to have a level of confidence and a level of arrogance to always feel as if no matter who's out there, you're supposed to be the best of your craft. And that's what makes those guys the peak of the peak and the best of the best, is the fact that no matter who's across from them, no matter who's next to them, they always feel like they can win and get the job done. So it don't matter if it's AJ Klein next to Tyrell Dodson. Doesn't matter if it's Matt Milano. Like, those guys are still going to feel very comfortable that they can bring home a win for Bills Mafia.
Man, I'll tell you, watching that game and watching the guys go down, but watching us perform and just kind of ice the game and take care of business, it was really nice to see. Josh Allen, we could talk about Josh Allen all day, but we like to talk about winners and losers here. And let's just say Josh Allen, we both know Josh Allen's a winner, right? He just does what he does. He is them once. He's one of one. You know what I'm saying? He's one of one. Ain't nobody like him. But if you're gonna choose another winner in this Bills matchup, who we talking about? Who's a winner for you?
From the Steelers game?
That's right.
We talking about I got to start with the dude above Josh Allen. I'm gonna go to the dude who had to cancel his vacation plans. Shout out to AJ Klein. AJ Klein for what he did. I think really should get his many flowers and as much love for that performance right there. Football isn't an easy sport to just pick up and just say, hey, like I want to go hit somebody in the face in 15-degree weather and feel cool about it. Like you gotta be a little off in the head to want to do that. Like you already gotta be off in the head to do that.
Facts.
To do it in 10-degree weather, to do it when you've been on the couch for about a month and a half. Tell your wife, tell your kids, hey, I know we booked our flights, we booked all that good type of stuff. You've been looking forward to that 80-degree weather. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I got to go collect this playoff check really fast. It's a good chance that I won't play, but I'm going to do a good job getting the guys prepared to play. Like, that's what, babe, I love you, but this playoff check is pretty good. Don't be mad at me, all right?
No doubt about it.
Well, that was his whole mindset. My boy was doing a scout team, getting the guys ready to play, and then boom, thrust into action because of the guys ahead of him falling down. Leads the team in tackles and ends up, I don't want to say saving the day because I don't think the game was ever really in doubt, but fills in admirably, plays actually really well. I mean, the stop he had in the fourth quarter was really good. Like he played really, really well considering all the circumstances. So obviously Josh Allen deserves all the headlines because he's the quarterback and he played great. But what AJ Klein did, coming from literally the couch, 1 second away from Key West to being in Orchard Park balling on national television, man, he deserves so many flowers for that.
He absolutely deserves so many flowers. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna talk about another winner. And let me jump in to set this up because I've been very critical of this individual, especially when this individual jumped into the game. I was like, oh hell no. And that is Kaiir Elam. Kaiir Elam jumped into the game right off the bat. I was like, golly, man, what are we doing, man? Now he's in the game, and I hate that I have to say it that way, but it's just that he's given us so much where we're like, not again. But he's also made some plays where you're like, okay, there's potential with this guy. And Kaiir Elam had an egregious pass interference. I've never seen such a terrible pass interference. I mean, there's masking a pass interference, and then there's blatantly yanking the guy in the back of the jersey, like, nah, you ain't about to burn me on my first rep. I'm not gonna get burned for a touchdown. I'm holding your ass. And he absolutely made up for it because that actually helped him out. And I'm actually gonna go to your Twitter feed and share this because the play was absolutely on the money. Because I'd love for you to kind of break it down once I kind of play this clip, because I think it's integral that people see what we're talking about here. So let me just open this up real quick and set this up. So this Kaiir Elam on they're on the 3-yard line, 3-yard line, and Mason Rudolph. I don't know if can you see that? You can see that properly?
Yeah, I can see everything. Yeah,
there you go. So set this up.
So as a defensive back, think of the end zone as a cliff. You really don't want to fall into the end zone. You don't really want to back up too much because at that point, the receiver can just turn around, right, and just box you out and score a touchdown. So you're always taught to be physical and to force, if they do get past you, to force everything to go over your head and force the quarterback to be perfect. So in this scenario, Kaiir Elam's at the top of the screen, and you can just run the clip. He's daring Mason Rudolph to throw a fade ball to the back corner, and if he hits that, so be it. You're a great quarterback, even better receiver. But I'm underneath because that's how it's supposed to. Like that's how it is. It's much easier to throw that comeback than it is in the back pylon, and he feels that, undercuts it, and says, "Thank you very much for the stat, and I appreciate that."
Golly, and it looked like it just fell right into his belly, like right into his arms. Like he just cut it off. Now, is that a lazy route from Deontay Johnson, or is that just great coverage from Kaiir Elam?
I always say this, and people get mad. Great receiver, like a perfect ball and a perfect route beats good defense every day of the week. So, like most interceptions are because of bad offense and bad and not sound offense. but the good DBs take advantage of your mistakes. And that's what happens here is you don't run a great route. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that you were lazy here. You didn't didn't break it off as quickly or as sharp as it could have been. So, I mean, if everyone threw 10 out of 10 balls, there'd be no interception. So a little bit of that, but you really, really sound on Kaiir to take advantage of someone else's mistake.
Listen, man, good job on Kaiir Elam, man. Because I mean, really, you don't want him inside, so you can already tell he knows. Okay, he's watching for that slant in or that coming in, and he's on it. But then he's like, oh, he's breaking down. There's only one route he's running. I got to turn around and cut off and take that. Boom. Give it to him.
Because it's a much hard, like I'm 6'3", I'm 6'2", however tall he is. If you want to throw it over my head, you better be perfect because that's what the ball you're going to have to throw. But you don't have to be perfect to throw this underneath route. You got a lot of margin for error. So let me make sure I err on that side. And that's what happens here.
Oh, man. Yo, he absolutely nailed that. You got to give it to Kaiir, man, because I was not expecting Kaiir to do that. I listen, when you look at even Teron Johnson was like, did we get that turnover? All right, let me just point this way and make sure that we got this. He wasn't even sure. I kid you not, if you go watch that, you can see it for yourself. But shout out to the defense for just stepping up, man. We've been talking about next man up, bro. These guys have been knocking it out with this next man up business, man. So listen, shout out to the Bills. Shout out to everybody kind of holding it down and making sure that we got everything proper. Listen, this thing is rolling, man. We rolling. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Go Bills Mafia. Let's get this thing cracking. So winners for me, obviously, is Kaiir Elam and how he was able to go up against adversity because, they were about to cook his ass. They were definitely about to cook his ass. I knew I was because the first thing I tweeted was, get this bum off the mother effing field. The very next play, this guy comes off with an interception. I'm like, nope, never mind. Good job. And that's where you get yourself in trouble when you're live tweeting because you just tweet what you feel at the time. So at that point, we'll keep it the way it is, man. So my man Kaiir Elam is the winner for me in this. My man Carl Jones right now is frozen, so I'm gonna take him off the screen. And when he's ready to come back, he'll come back and meet us. But winners and losers, man. Kaiir Elam was absolutely a winner for me, and he played well. He was not a liability. Like all game long, he wasn't a liability. He did well. So these are the type of games that you want from someone like Kaiir Elam, right? You had your mistakes. You've had your L's. He's heard it all. And you feel for a guy like that because when you hear all the negative chatter and the articles being written about you, and you got guys like myself and others saying, oh, man, this guy's not the answer. What a bust. That could wear a lot of people thin. Or you can fight back and do what you need to do and get back in the good graces of your teammates, get back in the good graces of Bills Mafia. And that's exactly what he did. So shout out to Kaiir Elam, man. I got to give him some love, man. He deserves that. That's legit. How about we talk about losers in this one? Well, there's no specific loser in this situation. I think the losers in this are Bills Mafia. Bills Mafias are losers in this, and why they're losers in this? Welcome back, buddy. Bills Mafia, we're talking about losers, and I talked about Kaiir Elam being a winner. Is there something that stands out to you in terms of losers? I'll start with this one, and I think you and I will both agree with this. These injuries, man. We become losers in this situation because of the injuries that we're sustaining. We're getting a lot of guys that are getting knocked out or banged up close to a big time matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs, and you hate to see it. You want to be a 100% strength so you can have a great matchup. But when you're down some key players and key contributors to this defense, it makes things tough. So Balen Spector, Christian Benford, Taylor Rapp, Rasul Douglas, Gabe Davis, Terrell Bernard, like I could keep going, man. Sam Martin, like we're banged up, bro. We're banged up. So to me, I think we can both agree that these injuries are killing us and or killing the Bills, I should say. And we just got to find a way to get that next man up and get McDermott to prepare these boys. And McDermott is doing a hell of a job. So you got to give him credit. So losers for me, and I think for both of us, I can speak these injuries. They're killing us. Let's go back to the winners side. Who you got for the winners?
By the way, I unplugged my Wi-Fi because when I get so excited talking about defensive backs, I get a little anxious.
You get amped up. I see that. You're like, your face was like this. And I was like, oh, my brother frozen. So he'll be back.
So I accidentally kicked the router out the wall. My bad. Yeah, I talk about my DBs. I get a little happy. Another winner for me, Let's go with the offensive line. I thought that all week long, people talked about how the physical aspect of the Steelers, right? You play in that Steel City, that AFC North type of ball club. Everyone's like, that's the first thing you speak of. Like, oh my gosh, are you going to match the Steelers' physicality?
Yes.
And you know what? Let me make this both sides of the ball. I'm going to say the trenches. And I think that the trenches on both sides of the ball really took the fight to Pittsburgh. Obviously, there were moments where Najee Harris had a couple runs. So would Jaylen Warren. Were the times where Josh Allen, did he get sacked? Yeah, he did. But you know what? For majority of that game, they controlled that. Remember the long drive, I believe, in the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter. Everything's a blur right now with all these dang wild card games. But the offensive line took it to the Steelers, and they really – you couldn't tell me before the game what was the narrative about who was the more physical team. And I thought they imposed their will. I don't know other Bills teams in previous iterations played the same way in that moment where you have concerns about if they could win a game up front. And we've seen that several times this year. Obviously, the Cowboys game is the best example of that, where obviously Josh played great. It's not like they needed to do that, but they showed you different flavors of how they can win a game. And the trenches on both sides stood up and said, we here too.
There you go. I'm with you on that one. I think I'm actually going to agree with that. I'm trying to think of like what stood out for me in terms of winners. I mean, the physicality is one thing that I was talking about all week. I was like, we need to be physical because this Pittsburgh defense is going to bring it. That offensive line is going to bring it. They're going to try to punch us in the face. We just got to counter that and be the physical team, and that we were. I mean, I think we could talk about Khalil Shakir, winner Khalil Shakir. What a first of all, catching the catch is one thing. All right, you catch that ball. It's a routine pitch and catch, but what I love about Khalil Shakir is there's no catch and go down, like the Sammy Watkins syndrome. Sammy Watkins was the absolute king of, I mean, like 2 years after, like, I mean, 1 year into his career, he wasn't about going down. He was about the next yard. 2 years in, he was about the next yard. Then he started getting injured. Then he was like, I'm going down. And it used to piss me off. It was kind of the CJ Spiller effect. CJ Spiller would never want to get contact. He'd go right out of bounds. It used to piss me off. And people always say, CJ Spiller is one of the great ones. No, he wasn't. He had one great season. And then he became soft and he started running out of bounds. That's not the type of back that I want. And when I see Khalil Shakir, he's about the next yard. He's like a Golden Tate where I'm not just going to catch the football and just go down. I'm looking for more. And this was the prime example of looking for more. My man, even I had people at my work were like, yo, this guy, I don't know how he was able to do it. He pure read it. He was on his foot, turned back around. Like, listen, man, physics, want to, grit. You're trying to make a play. And my man made an absolute play. And not only did he just stay on his feet, he snatched somebody's ankles. I think his ankles he's still got the ankles in his backpack. He took number 38's ankles. He gave him the 1-2 back outside again into the end zone. Bro, you can't go wrong with the way Khalil Shakir made that thing happen. That's going out there, what do we call coaches say, being a football player. That's going out there and making it happen. Well, that's exactly what Khalil Shakir did. Winner on that route alone to kind of put the dagger in the Pittsburgh Steelers. My guy, Khalil Shakir, baller. And right now he's building a case. In my opinion, he's building a case right this second because he's going to have a monster third year. He's going to have a monster third year in this offense if Joe Brady is retained as the man. So that's my guy, Khalil Shakir. Do you have another winner, or do you want to go to the loser side?
In a win like that, you want to give someone else some love. Greg Rousseau, after the quick film I watched today, I haven't watched everything deep enough to where I give any grand proclamations or anything, but I thought Greg Rousseau was stout in the run game. Obviously had the one sack that was nice on the rookie,
yes,
Broderick
sir.
Jones. But in a game, once again, where you needed your trenches to be physical and match the Steelers' MO, Greg Rousseau early on made his presence felt and said, if y'all want to run my way, think twice, bucko. And I thought that he set the tone, and the rest of the Bills followed that.
And I like that because that's part of your good. I know that's part of it. So I was kind of reading what you were going off of. That sack felt so easy. Yeah, it was routine. It was like I think he surprised himself. He just kind of gave him a shot, get out the way, and just I'm here. I was actually surprised that he got that, and I was surprised that we didn't get more sacks on Mason Rudolph. But Mason Rudolph, I mean, he's a 5-year vet. He came in the same time Josh Allen came through. So I mean, he's had time to sit behind some quarterbacks. But Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, you telling me that he was not able to beat those guys out? You waited till the end of the season to give him an opportunity to play. Yo, he played extremely well for a guy that is the third string quarterback. So shout out to Mason Rudolph. I got to give him a little love, but I like that. I like that fact you went Greg Rousseau. I mean, we talked about the good. I mean, Khalil Shakir, Josh Allen. You know what I did like? I really absolutely liked the fact that Joe Brady was able to pretty much get everybody involved. And most importantly, he got Stephon Diggs involved. So Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions over 50 yards. Not your typical yardage that you want, but he's getting the targets. So the targets is important because they're looking his way. When you're getting 3 targets, 4 targets, not enough. To me, in my opinion, Stephon Diggs deserves at least 10 targets. How you get him those 10 targets, that's Joe Brady, that's Josh Allen. Y'all got to make it happen. But for me, give love to the receiving core, give love to Joe Brady on how he's able to spread the rock and spread the love. Kincaid down the seam, great call, great scheme call, great read by Josh. Miles Jack, bro, what are you doing? You got to be better. You got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. My man,
unhitch the trailer. Unhitch the trailer, my boy. Let's go.
Yeah, man, unhitch the trailer for real. Like, what do you? When I was watching the replay, I was like, he did not just let him just run by him like that. Golly, feet stuck in the mud. I was like, all right, bet. But sometimes I feel like some of these guys just they underestimate some of these receivers that come on board. Right? You see a tight end, you're like, oh no, he ain't gonna do that. And then he just forgot that Kincaid is that dude. Kincaid is that dude. So shout out to the receiving core. Shout out to Joe Brady getting these guys prepped up, ready, schemed up, and schemed open. Both tight ends score in this game. You got to give it to them. So shout out to the tight end group. Shout out to the receiving core, and most important, shout out to Joe Brady that got this scheme and the game plan ready to go. Any other good that you want to go before we go to the bad?
Well, we talked about trenches, AJ Klein.
Sure.
You gave love to some Khalil. I think that fits everybody.
We good? Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to the bad. Anything stand out to you?
Man. I'm a cop out on the bad for the first one and probably say the injuries, just based off the fact that they're all in the same room, which sucks. Like it's one thing if it's a DN, a backer, a corner, then a safety, then no, it's literally the entire. I'm not gonna say the teeth because you do have your D tackles and your safeties are relatively healthy, but your backers, every single last one of them, tearing, and then the corners, like literally the middle of your like the second level of your defense, all of them, they all hurting, and that's not good, especially going up against the Chiefs teams that plays a lot of intermediate stuff. Like they're not really the home run hitters they used to be in the past, obviously because of the fact that their tackles aren't as great, so they really don't have much time to protect as long, and then also they don't have the weapons on the outside to really beat teams as much unless it's a schematic thing.
Right.
So that's where Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce come into play because they are the middle of the field type of guys. And when you don't, and to be fair, that is one thing that the Steelers did take advantage of once Bernard and Taryn left the game. Just think of Calvin Austin's touchdown, in the fourth quarter.
That's right.
Literally just attacking the backers.
Easy.
AJ Klein played admirable, but no disrespect to him, you don't prefer him to be a coverage backer this time of year. So I think the bad is the injuries and unfortunately where they are, because is in the unit in the room that the Chiefs could actually take advantage of if the Chiefs stay on sides.
All right, listen, man, I'm with you. I like that. I guess if we're gonna stick on the bad, I'll mention the fact that we let the Pittsburgh Steelers hang around. Right, we could have easily taken this team and taken to the woodshed like that. First, when we got the ball back and that drop by Dawson Knox to kind of extend the play. Like, had he extended the play, we probably maybe put 3 on the board, maybe put 4 on the board. Put 7 on the board. But the fact that drop happened, then we kept them in the game, and it kept me nervous, right? When this team shouldn't have been a team that would have kept me nervous, right? So that would be the minor, I guess, aspect of me putting them on the bad list. That's the only thing that stood out to me. So to me, bad. Just let the Pittsburgh Steelers fucking hang around. Like, quit letting these guys hang around, man. Take care of business. Get these guys off the field and keep it pushing. And obviously, for me, the ugly obviously is the injuries. The injuries were killer. It's just one of those things that we just can't get away from. These ugly injuries are catching up to us, and I'm hoping that we can right the ship and try to get key players back in. If Teron Johnson comes back in off that concussion, great. If we can get Rasul Douglas back, I think we do get him back. That'll kind of shore us up. Who do you go with next game? Do you go with Kyer if Benford can't play, or obviously you go with Dane Jackson? Based on this matchup that we're going up against these Kansas City Chiefs.
Is Rasul playing in this scenario?
Rasul should play.
In this scenario, if Rasul plays, I think you do go with Dane just based off of the familiarity that you've had with him throughout this entire tenure. But I'm not going to say an extremely short leash, but Kyer would see some snaps at some point.
You think he will? I believe he will. I wanted to say
if Benford, once again, Sean McDermott was very coy with us and very coach speak, which I didn't expect anything else this time of year. You want every little advantage that you can get. We'll get another update tomorrow with guys who can and can't practice.
Yep.
But he said day to day, like, bro, everybody on the team not day to day this time of year, Sean. Like, I get you. But regardless, though, I wish that Sean could lie to us. I mean, tell the truth to us, but of course he won't and shouldn't because of a competitive advantage.
Of course.
So we'll see who can actually walk tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, because these boys are banged up. My man Walter comes in. The bad for him was the pass rush. He felt that we didn't have enough of a pass rush. I mean, we only had a single sack. I think we had 2 sacks or 1 sack, and that was Greg Rousseau. So pass rush, which was inconsistent. We need a lot better next week. We do, and I think we match up well with obviously Pat Mahomes. That's why we built the trenches. We built the trenches especially for him. We affected him week 6. I think week 6 was when we played them. I can't remember. And we're definitely going to affect them coming this game. But we are a little banged up, but we're healthier on the line. So we'll see how that all plays out at the end of the day. I'm not going to keep it too long, brother, but we got to talk about the milk carton. Anybody stand out to you that deserves to be on that milk carton or what?
Man, milk carton. Let me see who didn't stand out in a man.
Let me give you time. Let me give you time to think because I'm gonna hit you with one. I don't know. Maybe people might disagree with me on this one, but I'm gonna put Tyler Bass on that, man. I'll put Tyler Bass on that, bro. And I know people might say, "Well, it wasn't really his fault. It was cold. It was we need you. We need you, bro." Now, some might say, "Well, that first field goal, it got blocked. Sean McDermott shouldn't have put him in that position. We should have just punted." But you got to understand, Sean McDermott was trying to put the dagger in these guys early, put more points on them, make them totally one-dimensional, deflate them some more. And the fact that my man got that thing blocked and that thing just, I don't know, that block normally kind of squibs sideways. This thing went backwards and gave them huge field momentum. And they were actually able to score off that blocked field goal. Secondly, that shank to the left. Now, one could say that Sam Martin's injury to his hamstring kind of made him kind of tilt that over, whichever. It didn't seem like it when I watched it. It just looked like a pure shank to me. And I don't know, man. I got to put my man Tyler Bass on this one. I hope I never have to see this brother on there again because we're going to need this guy tremendously. And he might come in and be the champion of this upcoming game. And he hits a 56-yard field goal win to win the game. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is this. I got to put you on, man. 2 missed field goals. You went 1 for 3. Yo, we need those, man. We need those points. And you didn't get that for us. So I got to put Tyler Bass on that. Are you against that, or you feel you got somebody else to put on there? Are you going to leave it at that?
I'm going to have to joke with you. I'm going to have to joke for a second and say that Toradol, like for a second jokingly, the Toradol need to be on the milk carton candidate because the Toradol clearly wasn't working on Monday to get the players back on the field. Clearly the Toradol that they shoot the
Yeah. They need to double dose that thing or something. It wasn't enough
because the guys wasn't out there. So I'm a jokingly dog.
I'm with you. I like that one.
Safety for a second. I'll probably say Tyler Bass. Yeah, I would say to a certain extent. I think Tyler Bass. I think Sam Martin's hamstring. I think we need to put that on the milk carton. My boy was struggling. Yeah, so. Because, I mean, outside of those two, the injuries are – because, honestly, for me, when I leaving the game, the injuries were so massive that everything else was – like, I can't really blame A.J. Klein for some of the coverage mistakes that he had because I'm not expecting the guy who was on his couch with me on Tuesday
for sure
to play. I'm not expecting Dorian – like, so it's kind of hard for me. Like I think the pass rush would have been a good one to put on the milk carton. We talked about that a little bit.
I like that.
So if I couldn't talk about the pass rush or the specialist, I'll probably jokingly say the Toradol because the Toradol clearly wasn't up to speed.
We'll put the Toradol and we'll put the pass rush because the pass rush I think I needed more for the pass rush. I'm gonna agree with that. Pass rush I'm good with that as well. I gotta give a little more love to Dorian Williams. I don't know what it is about Dorian Williams that he just doesn't get on the field. He's been relegated strictly to special teams. That boy can smack. When he hit Allen Robinson, I felt that. I was like, "Ooh, that boy got hit." And I was like, "If Allen Robinson gets up, cool, kudos to you," because and then he was wobbled up. He was wobbled. They had to take him off. I think he was concussed. I mean, you don't ever want to see somebody concussed, but man, Dorian Williams, he ended up being the second leading tackle on the team behind AJ Klein. Two guys that are on the depth piece, like they're bottom tier depth piece. So this goes to show you the development by Sean McDermott and the crew. This goes to show you that this team is coming along with some depth pieces. But geez, man, if we can get healthy, this will be a different ball game, man. You're actually, hey, we're saying actually just, hey, man, do you think that we'd be really good if we were all healthy? He says, yo, if the Bills team was healthy, they win this game. They're going to win against the Chiefs. So this matchup is going to be massive. This matchup is going to be massive. It's going to be a big one. Let's kind of talk about this Kansas City Chiefs game before I let you get out of here real quick. Kansas City, man, they're not as daunting as they once were. This year they've kind of come back down to earth slightly. Where's the edge for the Bills in this?
You have 17. I think that's the biggest edge. Anytime that you have
100.
I mean, anytime you have that player of that caliber in this situation, always players over plays in clutch moments. We always say that. Coach always used to tell us that as well. Clutch, and obviously the playoffs is the entire time is a clutch moment. So players over plays, when you have 17, that helps. I do think that the game will be won on the which unit, which I'm not going to give the Chiefs a cop-out here because they're the ones who built that receiving room. And the offensive line hasn't played great either. The interior's been good, but the outside, the two tackles haven't been. But this game is going to be won and lost on that side. Can the Chiefs offense take advantage of the Bills' injuries and vice versa? Can the Bills defense do enough to keep the Chiefs offense from being the mediocre unit it's been all year to a certain extent? Because I do think for how good Josh Allen is, the Chiefs defense is really great. So both units and those sides are going to make plays. So I'm not really concerned about that. But this game is going to be won and lost on when Mahomes has the ball. Can the Bills figure out ways to mask those injuries depending on how many there are? We'll find that out as the week progresses. So it is really hard today to tell you how this is going to turn out on Sunday. But I think one way, and I heard the Thigh Doc talk about this before I hopped on, is they've gone dime a lot this year because of the fact that they don't have two linebackers that they trust. Once Milano went down, excuse me.
Yep.
If Bernard can't go, this is where things get a little funky and where Sean McDermott is going to have to dive really deep into his bag, because at that point, what backer do you trust on obvious pass down situations? Because Tyrell Dodson was the guy that you took off the field. You obviously wouldn't trust a guy like AJ Klein. You wouldn't trust a guy like Balin Spector. Not saying these guys aren't great.
Yep. But
the levels and the margin for error at the linebacker position is really, really thin in terms of being a plus or a negative in terms of the pass game. Dorian Williams, like they clearly don't trust him. So like, what is his answer? That's where I'm going to say, like, what is Sean McDermott's answer for that? Now, is it going to be, and the crazy part about it, Taylor Rapp was the answer. Hey, put Taylor Rapp at safety, put Poyer or Hyde in the box.
Amen, that's right.
But if Taylor Rapp can't go, then if Cam Lewis has to play nickel because Terrence can't go, so then you can't put Cam back at safety. So what is Sean McDermott's answer for, because the Chiefs receivers on the outside aren't going to win their one-on-ones. I mean, I know that people are scared of what Kyer can do and all that good type of stuff. I don't think Kyer is going to have any issues with, no disrespect to those guys, but McCole Hardman or Sky Moore, who I think is still on injured reserve, or Marquez Scantling. It's going to be
Tony,
right? It's going to be Kelsey, Rashee Rice,
yep.
Pacheco,
yep.
Justin Watson. Those guys in the intermediate part of the field what can Mickey D do to offset the potential losses? Because once again, we have no idea who's going to be available, because that's where the game's going to be won and lost.
All right. So then if you're Andy Reid, you're Pat Mahomes, where are you attacking on this defense?
Oh, anybody who I didn't see anybody who I didn't see a month and a half ago.
That's where I'm going.
Anybody who I didn't play
against here.
Yeah, but well, we used to call it on defense where if it was an offensive guy who we didn't think was up to par, we put them in the torture chamber. Like, all right, cool. You ain't popping. Cool. We about to treat you like you're not existing out there. And it's the opposite for the offense. You're not supposed to be out there on defense. We about to make your life living hell with this red dot. Like, you're gonna be in film the next day, like the ball going there,
bro.
It's going there. It's going there. So like that's where Andy Reid is gonna probably go to. Once again, presuming who the hell is healthy.
Oh man, see, this is the thing, man. This is where when you get to this playoffs, and now it's like a fight within a fight, and obviously the players are doing it, but it's my mind versus your mind, right? And knowing that I'm injured, I got a whole lot of injured players. McDermott's got to be trying to figure out what is Andy Reid going to try to attack. How am I going to try to attack his offense? He's going to depend heavily on his defensive front. Will he have enough time to blitz? Is Pat Mahomes? Pat Mahomes too good. He's too good to just try to blitz his ass. He'll find it. But he's also too good. You can't just sit in zone because he'll pick it apart. So we're going to have to be so exotic. And this is where McDermott has to make his money. You want to make your money, McDermott? You got to take care of Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. You got to. And yes, you got injured players, and it really sucks. But ain't nobody gonna hold your hand and cry with you. It's over with. You're like
and to a certain extent, is what happened last year in the Bengals playoff game. Obviously, they got their tails kicked through and through. But not having Daquan Jones in the middle last year hurt. Like it really did hurt them last year.
Massive.
Like the Bengals, who aren't really a great running team, were able to move the ball up and down the field with Joe Mixon. So I mean, this time of year is always, and I know people don't want to hear this, is all about availability. But I'm not writing the Bills obituary by any point. I still think this Chiefs team is very flawed, and I do think that there are things that the Bills can take advantage of. Because even though that Dolphins defense, poor them, had no business being in the playoffs because they literally had edge rushers who were watching the Christmas Day games with you and I. Like that's how banged up they were. So like kudos for them, the boys, even going out there. But the Chiefs still struggled in the red zone against that unit, even up against a very practice squad Dolphins defense. So it's not the obituary doesn't need to be written, but they need to play. They need to figure out ways to be creative. McDermott has done that this year, but he's gonna have to. If you're playing cards right, and hey man, that Joker gonna have to come out now. You've been playing that Queen, you've been playing that King, you've been playing the Ace. You probably play the little Joker. Hey, big Joker gotta come out now, big dog.
I'll tell you, man. If you're playing Uno and you know that you can make my man's pick up 8, drop that card now. Stop trying to save that, man. Pick up 8 right now. That's what he's got to make him do, man. You got to make Andy Reid pick up 8. So and Andy's got to and go. Okay, I got to reschedule. So this is the one thing I do love about football is the coaches going back and forth, especially because they're familiar with one another. So this is where McDermott's got to say, you know what? I mean, you were the mentor back in the day. I got to take over. I got to win this one, and I got to send y'all packing because I cannot see Kansas City going back to the AFC Championship game. I don't want to see that shit happen. I'm so sick of Kansas City. So the Bills got to make sure they take care of business. So we're the ones saying, all right, who's next on AFC Championship? But we got to take care of these Kansas City Chiefs, man. So this will be good, man. I'm actually interested in seeing how this plays out. Man, don't be surprised if I come calling your way Friday night show. I'm just saying, be available. You might get a phone call from your boy. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, my man Carl Jones in the building. He's going to be doing some film work. I do have a question for you though. When you're doing film studies, I mean, film study is one thing, but like you got to be taught how to do film study. And I'm sure you were taught how. You can't just sit there and just watch. I love it when people say, "Yeah, I was watching the film." What film were you watching? You mean you're just watching the highlights again, right? You're watching the game all over again. I mean, there's got to be specific ways that you got to break stuff down. Watch this. Okay, what did he do here? Does it take you a while to kind of like one session of watching film? How long does it take you?
So one session, offense and defense, probably takes me about 3 hours. But I do want to say this, and this is for everyone in the chat, everyone who's going to listen to this. I am a big believer in you can't be an expert at everything. And what I mean by that is when I played cornerback, and I was very gracious enough to be able to play cornerback, nickel, and safety at Syracuse. So I did learn a lot of the positions.
Yep.
But I promise you, I had zero idea what the hell the D tackle was doing. Like, I didn't know what the D tackle was doing. I couldn't tell you what the hell the guard was supposed to do on a fire zone blitz. I couldn't tell you. So when it comes to people who watch film, who study the game, who talk about the game, there's a reason why you have position coaches. There's a reason why you have coordinators, because you can't know every damn thing. So, like, when you ask me how do I watch film, I quite frankly watch from the back to the front. I'm watching things. I can tell certain coverages and how maybe certain run fits are supposed to look, because I know as a corner, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm pretty sure the DN is supposed to be there type of vibe. So once again, you really don't hear me ever critique the front six too often, because I didn't play that, don't know all their responsibilities. You don't really hear me critique the offensive line too much. Not on like, you can critique players, but like in terms of an assignment basis type of vibe. You're not going to ever hear me say he should have did this on this play, because I don't know. And you can't be an expert on everything type of vibe. I can tell you when someone's not playing good. Like, bro, if you're a right guard and dude run right past you, well, I don't need to be a film guru to know that. So
we saw that.
Right, we saw it. So like that's how I'm watching film. I'm watching like, all right, cool. Like the Kaiir thing, I know down and distance. Like for those at home, if you want to just feel like you know what you're talking about, there are the three things that as a cornerback I'll look on every single play. Down and distance. Is it first down, second, or third down? Because there are certain routes that receivers will not run on certain times of certain down and distances, right? That's first and foremost. Secondly, where is his alignment compared to the rest of to the ball? Is he split far out? Well, I know that he's probably not a route running an out route if he's right next to the sideline. So there's certain routes of things of that nature. And then last but not least, where are they at on the field? You know, like are they in shot territory? You know, that shot territory really around midfield, you know, a little past it a little bit. Are they backed up? I know they're not running I know they're not running a hitch route backed up on and at their own 3 yard.
Oh, my man is frozen up a little bit, but he's excited. He said it, man, when he's talking.
Guys. Because if it's starting like, because if it's starting 7 and you giving up a slant, I gotta ding you, my boy. You know that slant territory right there. So like all that good type of stuff. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm looking at. And you won't hear me say, "Oh my gosh, I know what Dalton Kincaid was supposed to do right there," because I ain't never been a tight end, and I'm not big enough to be one.
And I'm starting to like, if I watch, because like I watched film and I'm like, okay, so like why did he run that route? I'm like, he ran that right here. So then what's this guy doing over here? Okay, the backside safety is over here. Okay, so like watching one play or breaking down one play could take you like 15 minutes for one play. Golly, man.
That's why I don't do that. I look at the guys on the back end, and if I see some cute happen up front, I'll look at it more often. But like,
I got you.
You can't look at everything.
Carl Jones in the building. I've always had that question to ask, because like watching film is not just like, you know what I mean, in half hour we can watch this film. No. That takes like 3 hours, 4 hours. You can spend 20 minutes on one play just to kind of break it down and see what everybody's doing, everybody's assignment. Man, gotta love the game of football, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not followed Carl Jones, do me a favor, get that man on your follow list. You got to. My man Cold City said, "Yo, Rico, you outdid yourself bringing in Carl Jones, aka Teron Johnson." That's the first. Never heard that one before. Have you heard that one yet?
Nah, I didn't heard a lot. I ain't heard Taron though. I can't say I heard that one.
There you go, my man Taron Johnson, aka Carl Jones, in the building, man. Listen, let people know where they can reach you. If it's not on Twitter, where else are people able to see your work so they know exactly where they can find all your stuff?
Yeah, so obviously that's my Twitter, wherever the hell, right there. That's my Twitter right there where you find my good type of stuff. Obviously, I'm play DB. Kaiir, Elam, and Dane came in the game, so tomorrow I'm gonna drop some stuff about them and let you guys know how they played. But also my other stuff at RochesterFirst.com. We do a lot of good stuff. Thad and I will break down the film. We'll talk about what they in the totality, our thoughts on the game. Our YouTube is also at News 8, and you can just search Let's Talk Ball, and because we just talking ball, baby. Yeah, on YouTube. So go ahead and
Let's Talk Ball on YouTube, yo. Go ahead and follow my mans. We appreciate you, man, and we'll see you next week. But if your boy comes a calling, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, let's go and tell your boys that they need to win on Sunday. I like my job.
I got you, man. The local legend himself, Carl Jones. We'll see you, man. There he goes, man. He says, yo, he wants to keep working. He wants to keep doing what he's got to do. These Bills got to win. These Bills got to win. And that we listen, we need to push this thing right up into the Super Bowl. Straight up and down. Right up into the Super Bowl. We got to handle business. Last but not least, It's 10:40 right now. I'm about to make this this final phone call. I'm gonna call my bro and see what he's saying right now. And whether he picks up the phone or not, that's a whole different ballgame. Like I said, it's been crickets. I haven't heard that brother at all. So he might be a little spicy on the phone with me, but I don't give a damn. You gonna answer this phone, Johnny? His name is Wendell, but I call him Johnny. Childhood name, but we're about to find out if he picks up the phone. He's gonna be attitude-ish. I know he will. What do you want? If he answers, he's probably with his daughter.
Yo,
Oh, what's up, Johnny?
lovely man.
Hold on. Are you busy right now?
This guy's stuff.
Do you have like 5 minutes? I just want 5 minutes of your time.
Nah, but you shut your mouth. Right now, you're probably doing your podcast, and you calling me to fucking troll or to talk nonsense. So I'm madman.
Wait. Don't hang up the phone. You didn't call me at all to talk about the game. That's why I was checking to see what was going on.
What did they talk about?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys. I wanted to know what time they were playing next week.
This is top man.
What time are they playing next week?
Hold up. How about you? How about you call me? When do you guys play next?
We play Sunday.
Yeah, okay. So how about you call me Monday or Tuesday?
What are we going to talk about?
Hold on. You played a bum ass team, Pittsburgh, that barely made it to the playoffs because Jaguars played bad. Now you call to brag. Get the hell out of here, man.
I actually didn't call to brag.
Typical Bill fan.
Wait. I didn't actually call to brag. I actually called to see how you were doing.
No. What am I doing? Unlike you, I know my team is freaking weak sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're weak sauce now.
No, you, buddy. What do you mean they're weak sauce? I bet know they were weak sauce. They lost to you, so I bet know they were weak sauce. I bet know they were weak sauce. So it didn't hit me hard, buddy, because I was expecting it.
Who did Dallas play?
I was hoping for the best, and then Dallas played a bunch of young guns. That's who they played.
Oh, they're young guns. They're not young punks, and they're scrubs. They're not scrubs.
They have a bunch of good receivers. Who'd you play? Who did you play?
We played Deontay Johnson.
You played a seventh freaking seed team.
What did you play?
Hold up. No, hold on. Not all seventh place teams are equal. You know that. No, hold up. You know that as a football guy.
Okay.
But what you do, you pick and choose, right?
Oh, I pick and choose.
You pick and choose. No, shut your mouth. I'm talking.
Okay.
You pick and choose when it benefits you, then you come. Just like you talk shit about your team. Just what's his name? Shaquille sucks. He's a scrub.
What?
No, that was come from your mouth. When I was trying to big him up, I was telling you have good receivers. You were talking shit, right? So, but now you coming to talk shit. Shut the hell up, man.
Okay.
I know what my team is about. They're garbage. I had told you before. Until freaking Jerry Jones dies, we're not gonna win a championship.
What does Jerry Jones have to do with it?
What do you mean? He doesn't hire the right coach. What is that? No free agency. No free agent wants to go to Dallas.
Dallas is a big market. What are you talking about? Every free agent wants to go to Dallas.
This is top. People that wants to win the big thing, they don't go look at Dalvin Cook. Who did he pick?
I mean, nobody wanted Dalvin Cook, first of all. No.
But who did? No. Nobody wanted him. That's bullshit. Dallas wanted him.
Hold on. Just give me a second. I just want to give everybody an opportunity to know that I'm talking to my older brother. My older brother is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I didn't hear anything from him all week. It's been crazy.
Yeah. Unlike you delusional Bill fans, like I said, I know my team. They're not strong. They're soft. And if they play against any real team, they're going to lose.
Well, they played a real team.
Which is what happened, and I was expecting it. I was hoping for the best. But expecting it.
You were expecting them to lose to the Packers? Nobody expected that.
Bullshit. What are you talking about, man?
Everybody was picking the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Packers. Are you kidding me?
Who's everybody? Those chumps on fucking NFL Network? Get the heck out of here, man.
Listen, everybody was like, it was ordained. It was supposed to happen.
Anyone that knows real football would know it was not a slam dunk.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Jokes aside, what do you do with Dak Prescott? Is Dak Prescott the issue? Is it Mike McCarthy? What do you do with your team?
All right.
You let
I
go.
mean,
Dak Prescott gotta go, or
Quinn,
is he the answer?
Quinn didn't. I mean, the fucking score like 40-something points on Quinn, and they're saying this guy could be a potential head coach somewhere.
So Quinn
I never
gotta
liked
go?
Dan Quinn. Eh?
So Quinn's got to go.
No, I'm not saying him. Like, first of all, McCarthy, I was never sold on this guy. I don't like him.
Okay.
He's terrible in clock management, terrible decision. I'm not a big fan. Dak, at the end of the day, like he plays for the run that he was picked on. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude was picked up at 4th round.
Okay, so now we're gonna, okay, you can't.
No,
you're
hold on.
not
You
allowed
have to
to-
question,
you can't
shut
do
your
that.
mouth and let me answer. I'm giving you an intellectual answer. I know it's above your head.
Fuck off.
It's above your head. So I gotta dumb it down for you.
Okay, big guy.
All right? Dak is a 4th rounder.
Okay.
So he's Richie Stilling. But if these guy wants to win the big one, I don't think they can win with Dak. That's real talk.
You don't think they can win with Dak?
No.
The guy
would say-
had 4,000 yards passing. He was
Okay.
he was in the running for MVP. He
Okay.
had CD Lamb.
Okay.
You got Jake Ferguson. You have one of the
Okay.
best O lines in the game.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Guess what? Matt Ryan won MVP too, right? Has he won a Super Bowl, you dumb truck?
He went to the
Has he
Super
won a
Bowl.
Super Bowl? Matt Ryan, has he won a Super Bowl?
He went there.
Has he won it?
It doesn't listen.
Oh, it doesn't matter, right?
What
Of
do you
course,
mean?
typical Bill fan, because you guys went to Super Bowl 4 times and then won it. So to you, that's the Super Bowl,
Hold on.
buddy. You in it to win it. Okay,
So
we're winners. You in it to win it. Losers, you just say, "Oh, I got there, so I'm satisfied."
Hold on.
That's you guys.
If we're in it to win it,
Bro,
what the hell is Dallas
listen.
Cowboys in?
I'm an ex-champ. Okay, so I'm talking about real talk,
So
winner talk.
you wanna go back
Something
to-
you don't know about.
You want to go
understand
back
that?
to the? You want to go?
No,
you
no.
want to hinge?
I'm talking about this is the winner's circle. You understand that?
What winner circle? You guys
No,
have
no,
won in 12 years.
Hold on. It doesn't matter. Winner's circle. So hold on. So we haven't won it over 20 years, but guess what? If you go to a stadium, you're gonna see Super Bowl champ. Can you call yourself that?
Listen,
Can you call yourself
ain't
that?
nobody talk right now. At this
Can
point, at
you
this point,
call yourself a Super Bowl champ?
you're hurt right now. You're hurt.
Can you
I
call,
can tell.
no.
I can
Can you
hear-
call yourself?
I can hear
Can
it
you
in
call
your
yourself
chest.
no? Ask a super question. Can you call yourself a Super Bowl champ? Yes or no?
Of course not. Not right now.
Exactly. Not right now. Not ever. You chump.
Are you telling me
You
that
understand
you're calling yourself a Super Bowl champ?
You got me freaking.
You're a Super Bowl
listen,
champ?
I
from
work
back
with my
in the
baby girl,
90s?
man.
You're
Please,
still holding
dumbass.
on- Are you still holding on to that?
Doesn't, buddy. If you once a champ, you're always a champ.
Shut the fuck up.
Something you don't know about, man. Once a champ, you're always gonna be a champ.
All right.
Right?
Let me ask you this.
So-
Bills Chiefs. Who wins the game?
Chiefs,
Is it a blowout?
it'll be a close game. So how about you call me after that?
Hold on. Why do you think the Chiefs are? Why do you pick the Chiefs so quickly?
Why do I pick the Chiefs so quickly?
Yeah.
Because you played against a bunch of bums. When you played against the Chiefs, the ref saved your ass. The Chiefs, they're not even that strong of a team, but I think they have enough to still beat your ass.
So they don't have enough of a team. They're not that good, but they're still going to beat our ass. The same team
That's
that
right.
whooped the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we trust Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you are hurt.
You
are
can keep
hurt.
going.
You're so hurt. You're not making any sense right now.
Buddy, you can keep going back to that. Dallas Cowboys.
I've never heard you this hurt before.
Hurt. Anyway,
You're
like I said,
hurt.
call me next game. After next game. Right?
So when I call you and we're talking about shit, man, that was a good game and the Bills won. Are you gonna say,
Buddy,
"Oh, you beat the scrub team in the Chiefs
always-
scrub"?
I always keep it 100, man. Unlike you. You pick and choose.
You always keep it 100.
You
All
pick
right.
and choose.
Listen,
Always.
You never fail to give me awesome sound bites. You are absolutely a trash fan. Your
Yeah.
team is trash.
I'm a trash fan. No, I'm a real fan.
You're holding on. Your typical Dallas Cowboys fan. holding on.
Exactly. Typical
Super
fan. No, I
Bowls.
ain't no Bill fan. No. Come on, but your ass.
No.
Dumbass.
You're a typical Dallas fan. You're
Yeah.
still holding on to the 90s. Bro, the 90s, bro. Jean Jackets were still in style in the 90s. Bro, you still talking
Bro,
about that shit?
At
Bro,
least
let it go.
I got.
Let it go.
At least I
What-
can go back to something.
know the NFL?
What can you go back to?
the sports right now
What
is
can you go
what
back to?
have you done
What can you
for
go
me
back to?
lately?
What can you go back to?
I can go. You know what? I can go back to last week when we played the Pittsburgh Steelers and we won, and we're going to the next week. What are you doing? What are the Dallas Cowboys doing?
No, like I said,
that's what I can go back to.
Champ, always a champ. Yeah, you're talking about. Listen, you play against a coach that's out the door. That's already thinking about the next chapter. You understand that, man? You played against a third string QB. You dumbass. And then you call me? Oh, hold up. You call me to bring about some dumbass shit like that, man? A third string QB, a freaking head coach that's out the door. You gonna come in and brag? Get the heck out of here, man. You chump. Freaking loser mentality, man.
Yo, it's ironic that you call me a loser when your team is the one that lost.
No. Loser mentality. Come and brag about some bunch of bums that you beat. Get the heck out of here, man.
You know the Bills have won 6 games straight, right?
Listen, if you had came in and tell me, yo, I beat Houston, I beat Baltimore, and you can come brag, I could give you that. But you're gonna call me about some third string QB that you just beat? Get the heck out of here, man. You scrub.
But I didn't actually call you about the Bills. I called you about your team.
Loser mentality.
That's the fucked up part. But you're so hurt. You want to bring it back on the Bills. I'm not the one sitting here bragging about who we beat. I'm talking about how are the Dallas Cowboys.
Loser mentality. Listen.
You're hurt.
Like I said, I wasn't expecting much. So this is why when it happened, like, yeah, it is what it is.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you.
That's the Dallas Cowboys. That's who I know.
I'm gonna just say one thing before I let you go. I love you, man. You're my bro. I know you're hurt right now, so you're not talking straight.
Okay.
You ain't talking straight.
Like I said, come have the same energy next week.
Listen, I'll still have you. You know me. I'm gonna still keep it funky. That's always gonna be that way. It's gonna be a good game. You already know. Bills Chiefs always a good game.
Hold on. You gonna keep it what?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm always 100%. You know what it is.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You freaking huge.
Man, you
keep
are
100%.
Yo,
Shut the hell
Dak
up, man.
Prescott really did it to you, huh? He really did it to you. Listen, let me tell you where you guys fucked up. You guys, your defenses will fuck you up. Forget about what Dak. Dak didn't have a good game, but your defense did do fuck all. Where was your guys? Where was
Thank you,
Gilmore?
Captain Obvious.
Gilmore,
Thank you,
where was he?
Captain Obvious.
Where was Jerome Bland?
Hold up. Very good insight, buddy.
We're very good insight.
Mr. Headliner, get the heck out of here, man.
Oh, he's upset.
That's for touche, man. I'm mad.
Yo.
Bye.
Love you, buddy. Yo, big mad. I called him to find out how his Dallas Cowboys. He went on a rant about 90s Super Bowl champs. Yo, this guy's a riot. Sometimes you just gotta let him go. You gotta let him go off. You're calling me about. Did you guys even hear me say, yo, we won last week and I'm here to brag about the win against the Pittsburgh Steelers? I said, yo, how are you doing? Yo, but sometimes this is the thing, man. He needs somewhere to vent. He doesn't have anywhere to vent. That's why he usually vents, you know what I mean? Regular season, he comes to me and says, okay, this is what's going on, right? This was his moment to vent. Did you guys hear that? That was a vent. That's a therapy session right there. He took out his anger. He took out his anger on me, but really he was trying to get his anger out to just feel good about himself. Rico, he told you to shut up before you even asked him about the question. I know. I couldn't even get a word out. He was just so upset. He goes, yo, shut up, I'm talking. I was like, all right, the floor is yours. I've never met a man so upset about a football game, bro. I mean, listen, we get upset. We know when our team loses, we lose our shit. We get it. We get into it, all that good stuff. But that was good. Dallas Cowboys fans are unhinged. They are absolutely unhinged. They're not calm. Kevin, I can call Kevin right now, and Kevin would be like, buddy, I knew we were going to lose. It was terrible. Like, it was expected. You know what I mean? Kevin's a sensible fan. You know what I mean? He's not hanging on to in 1970, whenever the hell they went undefeated. We were 14-0 and we won a Super Bowl. Hey, Kevin ain't doing that. And the funny thing is, my bro's like, well, what about what can you hang off? Well, I can hang off of last week because we won last week. What about you? Yo, you gotta listen. Brotherly love. I'm gonna tell you something. I'll be real with you. That's when we get into sports conversation, unless we are aligned with one another, it's like calm. The minute we disagree, the octaves go way high and we just keep going. And obviously for content purposes, I'm laughing my ass off. But when we get into heated conversations, bro, it gets crazy. You guys will just have to be there. Like, I always tell this guy, yo, you should just come on here and show your face and actually let's go back and forth. But he never wants to do it. He never wants to do it. But Dallas Cowboys fans, bro, if every one of y'all are like this, fam, get it together. He's hurt. That's what pain feels like, folks. When people are grieving, that's what it feels like. And I think I caught him out of the shower because he's probably sobbing in the shower. So he's like, yo, what do you want, man? I just got out of the shower. I was like, wait, I just want to talk about your game. That's when he went off. Walter, you're right. I couldn't even get my words out. He was already telling me, shut up, and he just wanted to lay into me. Well, what you laying into me for? My team won. Your team won against a coach that's out the door, third tree, this, that, the third. I was like, golly, he's upset. Anyway, folks, that's my time. I hope you guys appreciate the show. I had to call in and allow my brother to vent and use this, 5 minutes? He went off for 5-10 minutes of a therapy session. It is what it is, man. Dallas fans are feeling it. I'm sure Eagles fans are feeling it the same. I have a couple Eagles fans that I should call, but we'll leave that for another day. But the Bills are up. The Bills got the Kansas City Chiefs this coming Sunday. We're going to get back at it again on Friday. If you guys have not subscribe to the channel. I want to give a big thank you to everybody. 20,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Big love to y'all. That's been showing up and showing love and continuously coming in and hanging out with us. So 27,000 subscribers is not a joke. We started this thing in 2017, right before 2018, October of 2017. So we've been at it for what, 4 years now? 4 years. My math is all terrible. 4 years, give or take. So let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it cracking, and let's keep this thing moving. So much love goes to each and every one of you guys for always tuning in. Smash that like, and it's time for me to go. But until next time, folks. It's your boy Rico. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. Much love to y'all, man. And I got to get my black ass to work. So smash that like before you get out of here. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. It's your boy Rico. It's the Rico Report. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.